This is Shelby. She's the mascot for my summer school art class. And today we'll be learning how to draw and color Shelby. So the first step is you want to draw really lightly, making a jelly bean shape here with two circles above the jelly bean shape, really lightly drawn. And then I'll start kind of planning out where the microphone will be. So we have microphone angled toward her mouth, and then drawing in some legs. She has stumpy little legs, so she's a snail, and figured I'd give her some small legs. Okay, now for the suit, just kind of shaping the suit and the other arm. Keep in mind this is all very light. You'll be doing some erasing and cleaning up later on. Okay, now the mouth, and we have her tongue kind of suspended in her mouth to show that she's singing. And then the reflections for the eyes, showing a little bit of the white of the eye in the back. And then now I will sketch in some tentacles. I'm sorry, the eye stalks, giving them some curve so it looks like they're a little cartoony and like a snail's eyes, I guess. And then now planning out for the hand, how it wraps around the microphone and connects back to the body. And of course we have a little heart that's on her suit. And then she has very pronounced eyelashes. The middle eyelash is always the longest. And I'll extend her legs down a little bit further just because the proportion didn't look right originally. And the next step would be to clean up the drawing with a kneaded eraser. So you can see I'm just kind of wiping away some unnecessary lines. Even though I drew light, I can still see after erasing, so it's just dark enough to where I can still see an image. Okay, now I have my Prismacolor marker. I'm using the thicker end just to block in the main color of Shelby. She's kind of an apple green color. If I wanted to, I could leave more areas for the highlights, but in this case I'll just leave her kind of with a matte finish. So I'm just working in some of the main areas. You notice there are some gaps around the mouth and around the arm. So I'll go back right now with those with a finer point of the same marker. It's a two-sided marker. And then just kind of shape up those eye stalks, the arm, just around her suit, and then the mouth as well. Okay, now I'll take a color pencil, Prismacolors I typically use, of a slightly different green to give a different dimension to her skin. I will outline her skin with the green and also add some shade. So like in this inner leg there, I added some shading underneath her suit to give her more like a thickness, a 3D quality. And also under her arm there, by her suit. And you'll see some various shading areas happening around the body. Okay, so I'm just tracing out with the green and adding just a little bit of shading in certain areas to give the figure a little bit of roundness. Okay, next I will color in the heart. So I just kind of cleaned it up with my kneaded eraser. It's my favorite type of eraser. And then just using a soft pink Prismacolor to just shade in color in that heart. And now for the suit. I'm using a gray to outline the suit, and also to give it some shading. So underneath the suit you'll see a little bit of shading right there. Gives it more roundness and three-dimensional quality to the figure, and also near the back of the suit. Okay, now I'm cleaning up the shell, outlining it in brown color pencil, and then also a little curl inside to show that it is a snail shell. Next I will begin coloring the tongue using a different color pink. It's a little bit lighter pink. And I'm leaving two little reflections, if you can see those, on top of the tongue. Now I'm working into the shell with a Prismacolor marker, blocking in just the main areas. You can use a color pencil for that as well. Okay, now for the microphone, I'm using just kind of a medium gray, same gray for the suit, but a little more saturated, outlining the microphone itself, and then choosing a highlight, also leaving along the microphone handle, there's a little bit of a highlight there. Now coming back in with some black, giving texture, but also leaving that highlight. Very strong contrast between the texture and the rest of the microphone there. And then just reinforcing those outlines with the black. I'm kind of indecisive when I color. I'm going to start coloring here the eye, and then I realize that I'm smearing the other eye with my right hand, so you'll see me shade in the top of the eye and then just kind of give up on it right there. I'll go back to it later. I just wanted to make sure I outline this one before it smeared too much. Okay, for the mouth, I'm using a darker purple. I like to give inside of my character's mouths a little more dimension than just black. So I'll start off with a darker purple, and then I will reinforce it with some black. So you can still see the purple of the inside of the mouth, but it is shaded by the black. So there's kind of two colors happening there. And then I'm using that same purple to outline the designs of the snail shell. I'm also shading a little bit with that as well. Okay, now for the eyelashes, I'm giving them kind of a, I guess, a mascara look by using a brush pen. It's a micron pen that acts like a brush, has a very flexible tip. And it takes a little bit of practice to use because it is kind of it's kind of finicky, but it does act like a brush. So you have to color by trailing, using the tip of the brush to trail. So just blocking in those eyelashes, and now I'll come back and finalize the eyes. Now you'll notice starting off with a darker shade just around the top reflection, and then fading it down to kind of a darker gray toward the bottom reflection, giving it a little more dimension, three-dimensional quality. And for the other eye, same thing. Darker around that top reflection, and then just kind of fading that off to the bottom. And then I'm cleaning up the eyelashes. There's still some pencil marks that are stray. Just cleaning those up with my kneaded eraser. And now for the last part, the shadow. There's a little cast shadow underneath Shelby. Just the same gray I used for the suit and for the microphone handle. But just to kind of back and forth underneath the feet. And then maybe a little music note just for added effect to emphasize that she is singing. And that is all. I hope you enjoyed this drawing tutorial, and thank you very much.